This is the same reason, by the way, why every wooden structure you've ever made in your life topples over. Nothing's cut straight. Hate to break it to you.
I'm not cross-eyed either. I'm just inept.
Just mentally cross-eyed.
Welcome. Oh, here we go. Welcome to the Low Grade Research Podcast.
Are we live? Should we get started? How much silence do you think we can pack into a podcast episode?
I think we can pack a lot in.
Okay, you know what's crazy? We found Annie and I found this whole world on Spotify of artists who create like white noise and stuff,
Okay.
and then they'll make a whole album. Like I shouldn't say artists because they're not, but it's just some
Sure.
dude with a computer who creates.
Producing white noise.
Yeah, but it's like an album. It's 12 songs of like different, like white noise, pink noise, brown noise, whatever, and then
There's different noises.
there are. And aside from white noise and brown noise, I'm not sure that I fully understand the difference, but it's like different pitches and different like
Interesting.
there's different levels and stuff in them or whatever.
I had no idea.
And they're, according to the people who create these things, all of them are supposed to be good for a certain thing that you're doing or whatever.
Okay.
But they make these albums and they get tons and tons of listeners because it's like 3 hours of white noise. So it's just
Holy
students that
crap.
get in there and just listen to white noise on these albums.
Yeah.
So these people are getting tons of listeners, and then they're getting residuals from Spotify for literally doing nothing creative at
Yeah.
all. And they just create this thing and then put it up, you know?
Interesting.
So Annie was telling me that Spotify is like taking issue with that. And then they're actively working against people being able to do that kind of
Yeah.
thing, I guess.
To at least make money off of it.
Yeah, which like I say, let them make money, dude. If they found a
Honestly-
loophole, then good for them.
It's bringing money to Spotify by having listeners. If you got all this great music content.
Great music.
There's
You
honestly-
gotta have
there's-
bad stuff on there too.
Honestly, there's worse stuff on Spotify than that.
I know, Joe Rogan podcast, dude. Just kidding. You know what is really good that's on Spotify?
Hmm.
The Low Grade Research Pod, baby.
Yes, it is. One of the top trending podcasts in my house.
In my house too, and Springville Meat Co. as well. But if you are finding yourself a lucky listener today, you should be happy to know that we are beginning what is the first of season 1.
That's right.
What is season 1 of the Low Grade Research Podcast,
So
Mitch?
season 1 is going to be about obsolete jobs. So for those that don't know what obsolete means, which we hope you do if you're listening to this podcast, but you may be young and don't know.
No, if they don't know what that means, then and they don't know how to use a computer to find it out, I don't care if they listen or not.
Then this podcast is too sophisticated for you.
Yeah.
But obsolete jobs are jobs that no longer exist, whether through because innovation or we've just progressed to a point where we no longer need these professions.
Yep. And it happens all the time. Industrial revolution, AI revolution, sliced bread, all kinds of things that put people out of a job.
Yeah, when's the last time you've had to slice your own bread?
Gosh, and if you have, you're poor. And that's the stance we're taking.
Well, if you got to slice your own bread, you're not welcome at my house. I need richer friends.
Yeah. When we bake bread at our house, we just rip it off in chunks. We're not going to be caught dead slicing
What are you,
it.
Italian?
Is that what they do?
I don't know.
And then we dip it in the sauce.
There you go.
There you go.
So yeah, we're doing obsolete jobs for this series. So stay tuned, stay up to date. We're gonna do probably a 10 episode series on jobs that no longer exist.
And you know what? It's our podcast, so we might go more or we might go less, or we might make another season at some point in the future to talk about more.
That's right. But you're gonna have to tune in each week to find out.
But the point is, and the purpose of all of these, and the theme that you're going to find every time you listen to one of these, is that we're using Wikipedia to find all of our knowledge.
We're using Wikipedia and very basic research skills that you would find from someone that slices their own bread.
It's our target audience.
Okay.
Idiots slicing their own bread.
On a real note, when I was growing up, I was I was not allowed to slice bread in our house
Wait, for real?
because
I mean, I know your mom has always
so
made homemade
my
bread.
mom has always made homemade bread for my entire life, and it's fantastic and delicious. I know we're knocking out people that have to slice their own bread, but I grew up slicing my own bread.
Yikes.
But it's just a joke, folks.
There's going to be some of those.
This
Look
is
out.
low-grade research. But I was so bad at it for the longest time that, like, my slices would progressively get thicker. And so the sliced end of the bread would be on this slant.
Nice.
So
You'd be an inch thick on one side.
Yeah, my bread slice would be, your perfect 1/4 to a 1/2 inch thick slice of bread. And I'd slowly get deeper into the loaf until at the bottom, we're like 1.5 inches thickness of bread. To a point where my mom finally bought this bread slicing guide.
Oh, yeah. I've seen those.
The tray with the slots.
And, yep.
So
and
I
then
could
you
just
run the
cut
knife in
down
the
it.
slot.
Finally, I was just like, this is so annoying to pull this out every time. I just finally had to get better at it and focus.
That's pathetic.
It took, you can see me slicing bread so slowly, making sure my lines are straight. Honestly, what would happen is, people listening may not be able to see this, but it wouldn't even be that the bottom was thicker, but it was that the back side of the loaf was thicker because my blade would turn.
Yeah.
And I'd just be focused on the side closest to me, making sure that was right. So then the back side of the loaf would be thicker than the other side.
This is the same reason, by the way, why every wooden structure you've ever made in your life topples over. Nothing's cut straight. Hate to break it to you.
I'm not cross-eyed either. I'm just inept.
Just mentally cross-eyed.
So anyway, that's my slice and bread story. I feel like I would ask my younger sister to slice me bread.
I can't believe you're that bad at it. That's mind-boggling. You were coordinated.
I'm not. I'm gonna preface. Well, not preface, but I'm gonna go and say I was young, like 8 or 9.
Oh, okay.
9 or 10.
When you told that story,
I might have. I'll be fair. I may have been 12 or 13, old enough that I should be.
We should have started with that because I pictured 25-year-old Mitch
Wasn't that old?
struggling to keep a knife straight.
You don't get to the size I am and not be able to slice your own bread.
That's
You know what I'm
true.
saying?
You are big.
Oh, love it. So anyway, get practicing your bread slicing.
My bread slicing's on point.
Well, you're a father now.
I'm the only one that slices bread in our whole house.
Well,
Annie makes
Good.
it, I slice it.
she makes great bread.
She does. She's an excellent cook,
You got a winner there.
excellent baker. And she loves doing it.
I love when they love to do it,
I'm not
'Cause
even...
I love to eat it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I am a firm believer in equal rights. My wife is a huge feminist, and she also loves to cook and bake, and that works out just for me.
My wife is also a big feminist.
That's because they're the same person.
Yeah, that's why I make her pay for meals when we go out, just to balance equally. She
Yeah.
gets that joke. And she opens my door.
She carried you over the threshold. Oh,
Can you imagine?
oh.
First of all, the door
Just knees popping, straining, not
discs
breathing.
bulging. Also, the doorway to our apartment is really narrow and
Yeah.
small.
It would be like she barely lifts you up, and you both could try and go through an angle to get through there, and you both fall over.
Not a chance, bro. Not a chance.
Oh, I'd pay to see that.
Well, you want to get into it?
You know what, I would, but I think that we probably ought to take a quick break. Have a word from our sponsor.
It's a good call.
Mitch, I got a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you like food?
Oh, I love it.
What kind of foods do you like?
Anything sweet, salty, treats, pies.
Great, you like meat?
Oh, do I like meat?
I see a guy that looks like you, and I think that dude likes meat.
Yeah, I like meat a lot.
Well, if you could take one shot in the dark at a place where you can get the highest quality meats with the best delivery and the most top-notch customer service, where would you think that is?
Well, I would have to guess it's a local place.
Got to be a local place. Got a small town feel with big city dreams.
That's right. What is this place you're talking
We're
about?
talking about Springville Meats.
I've heard of them.
What do you know? What do you know about them?
I heard they have big town quality, but small town hospitality.
I heard they had small town hospitality but big city dreams.
That sounds like a recipe for delicious meat.
Great.
All right, we're back. Thanks for joining us on that break.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
But we're gonna get into it now.
All right, what do you got for me?
Here we go. The first job, obsolete job, is called an Arrephoros.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you remember what an Arrephoros was?
Yeah, isn't it a big bird you train to haul away your kids?
That's pretty close. Yeah.
Okay. Where do they take it?
It's not close at all.
Oh, that's kind of rude.
Also, I don't think being a big bird is a job, unless you are Big Bird on the hit series Sesame
Yeah,
Street.
maybe cool your jets, bro. Because that's someone's livelihood and has been for a long time.
But I think that's the only job where being a big bird is a job. Okay, so an Arrephoros.
Wouldn't it be kind of a job to be a big bird anyway? That seems like a hard life. Go ahead with your thing.
We can explore this out.
No, I don't think we should.
On next week's episode, we talk to a flock of ostriches.
On next week's episode of Hoarders, big birds.
Big birds and hoarders. Okay, so an Arrephoros, like I said, this is a Greek occupation.
How's it spelled?
A-R-R-H-E. Oh, I read the wrong one.
I thought you just got stuck on a letter.
A-R-R-E-P-H-O-R-O-S.
Great. I just wanted to hear you spell.
I can still do it.
Yeah.
So this was a job set in ancient Greece.
Okay.
So the time of Plato, Aristotle,
Ooh,
Socrates.
The birthplace of philosophy.
Yes. However, this has nothing to do with philosophy, but everything to do with Greek gods and goddesses.
Okay. As
So-
most Greek things did.
An
Because they
Arrephoros-
didn't have TV or podcasts then. So
Mhm.
what were you going to do? Surprisingly, video games were a huge hit.
Just be bored. So an Arrephoros was a female acolyte in the cult of Athena Polias
Okay.
on the Athenian Acropolis.
Who's Athena and what's an Acropolis?
So we're going to break down a couple of those words here.
Okay, but not the ones I want to hear.
Some of them are going to be the ones you want to hear,
Okay.
but we're going to throw in some additional ones as well.
I will remind you that though this might be for an audience, but you are talking to me. So,
Well, we're going to break down some of these words because I had to break down some of these words for myself.
I see. Okay.
So
Go ahead. I'll stop being
the
rude.
first word,
I won't.
the first word we're going to start with is acolyte,
Okay.
because I didn't know what that was.
All right.
So an acolyte is an assistant or follower assisting the celebrant in a religious service or procession.
Okay.
So, and it's anyone
So
performing.
like the people who killed, that actress for Charles Manson. I don't remember her name now.
Sharon Tate.
Sharon. I thought it was Sharon.
It was Sharon.
I was gonna take a shot in the dark with Sharon, but I got nervous.
You would have hit.
Yeah.
Those would be acolytes. Yeah.
Okay.
Although I don't know if that was out of religious servitude or just. I mean, I guess it could.
I mean, it was a cult.
They're carrying out a cause.
Yeah.
Sure.
What cult does not have a religious element to it,
None.
other than Scientology? Ayo.
Bless. So it's anyone performing ceremonial duties of a specific rite or denomination.
Okay.
So in this case, we're talking about the Greek goddess Athena.
So altar boy is an acolyte.
Yes.
Rabbi is an acolyte.
Rabbi is more of like priesthood. Acolyte's more like you're working underneath someone of authority.
Isn't a rabbi working underneath the authority of the Lord?
I don't know enough about Judaism to give a concrete answer on that.
How about we earmark this and
It's
we do a
different
season on religions
clergy?
of the world?
Oh, absolutely.
I'll write it down.
But I feel like that's more clergy, whereas an acolyte works underneath clergy. So altar
Write
boy would be
down.
a perfect example of an acolyte.
Seasons to explain more stuff to Mitch that he doesn't know. Add to my life burden. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that out loud. Hot mic.
So, gotta reset. So Arrephoros is an acolyte in the cult of Athena, which is the Greek goddess Athena,
Okay.
on the Athenian Acropolis. So in ancient Greece, there was a town, a city, or within the city of Athens, there was an area called the Acropolis. And it was basically the area up on a hill, kind of in the center and back, that was looked over the entire city of Athens.
For some reason, I was thinking it was like an island, but Acropolis, I suppose, is sort of an island, just not surrounded by water. You're just above.
You're just above. And
Geography, baby.
So they would build edifices honoring their gods on Acropolis.
Yeah.
So the Athenian Acropolis is the edifice that they built honoring the goddess of Athena.
Is that where we'd see like the Pantheon or like some of those really famous buildings are up on an Acropolis? Is it the Acropolis or is it an Acropolis? Like, was there just one, or do they have? Is that just what they called like a plateau?
Usually one. Specifically, this.
Are you shooting from the hip right now? We're going to alienate every Greek listener that we have.
Well, if they have input, please write in. Tell us how we're wrong.
You know what? This is the Low Grade Research Podcast. I should remember what our founding cause is.
From what I understand, there's not just like one in all of Greece, but like in this one is the Acropolis of Athens.
Okay.
So there's one in the city of Athens. There's one in, name another Greek city.
Moscow.
There's one there.
Great. Let's do a season on geography.
So these Arrephoros, they were young girls ranging from ages 7 to 11 years old, and they would live for roughly a year at the Acropolis.
Okay.
And concluded their time there with this mystery rite called the Arrephoria.
Okay.
It's all tricky Greek words.
Great. That is tricky.
And a big part of this Arrephoria was these young girls would carry unknown objects into a cavern and there exchange them for other objects that were already down in this cavern.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Do they know what they're exchanging them for? And what is it they're exchanging?
So they don't know. We're going to get into that. They don't know what they're exchanging, and they don't know what they're bringing back.
Okie dokie.
So that's why it's a mystery rite. So, and these girls were typically chosen from noble families in the area, and to be named an Arrephoros was a very big honor for your family to have your daughter become an Arrephoros.
Should we see how Google thinks it's pronounced?
Yeah.
Arrephoros.
Arrephoros. That was close. Just without the accent.
Maybe you should include the accent moving forward.
Well, let's not offend anyone this early.
No, I want you to tell me what you think a Greek accent is.
No.
No?
I've got nothing.
Maybe we should do a whole episode where we just practice other cultures' accents and see how well that goes down.
Ooh. We might lose a lot of listeners.
Can't lose what you don't have.
So, we've talked about what an acolyte is. Now let's talk about the goddess Athena.
Okie doke.
What do you know about her?
Oh, she's beautiful, probably.
Gorgeous.
She's made of stone. Got a bunch of snakes coming out of her head. Turns other people to stone.
I think you're thinking of Medusa.
Ah.
So Athena, in Greek mythology, is a goddess associated with wisdom, warfare, and handicraft.
Interesting. So basically like an aggressive Hobby Lobby.
A disgruntled customer at Hobby Lobby. That is Athena.
Yeah, that's probably true.
100%. So she is the daughter of Zeus and Metis and resides on Mount Olympus.
Tell you what, Zeus got around. I'll tell you that.
Yes, he did. Well, he's the god of everything. He does what he wants. He can do whatever he wants. There it is.
It's a good family show we got going on. Yikes.
So, and then we already talked about what the Acropolis is. So, do you understand what a Arrephoros is?
I've interrupted you so many times. I'm not sure this is
Well, this is for your learning benefit. There's not typically tests at the end of podcasts, but there's going to be a pop quiz.
Well, I am planning to be sick.
Oh, I'm going to be sick for that quiz for sure.
We'll do a Cracker Barrel baptism, dude. I'll throw up right all over your computer.
Talking about these Arrephoros.
Okey-doke.
Arrephoros.
Mhm.
These young girls.
Okay. And so say they are acolytes of Athena.
Correct.
Did you say it was a cult?
I mean, you could describe them as a cult. I mean, they were a devoted group to the worship of Athena.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
Also, this was set in, in the glory days of Greece.
Fair enough.
So everyone believed in these people.
Greece
so
has never not had glory days, buddy.
Fair enough.
It's a powerhouse of a country.
It's a beautiful country.
So these young girls are taking, you said, unknown objects into a cave and exchanging them for other objects?
Correct.
Fantastic.
So
And they got paid for this.
they did not get paid for this. It was more of an honor for these young girls to be called, just like you don't really get paid as an altar boy.
So it's an internship, basically. It's a religious
It's
internship.
very much a religious internship.
Perfect.
Yeah. So these girls would live for usually a year at a time
Wait, hold on. They would live for a year?
and then die. I hope everyone else is enjoying the roller coaster that is my vernacular.
They would live for a year.
And then be thrown into the sea.
Okay, is that true?
No! I will describe to you what they did.
All right, I'll shut up.
So their responsibilities include a couple things besides the mysterious transportation of objects. Well, the transportation wasn't mysterious, but the objects were mysterious. Besides the transportation of mysterious objects to a cavern under the ground.
I know some guys who are transporting some mysterious objects underground.
It still happens today. But specifically, these young girls had several responsibilities. Some of them included tending for the sacred olive tree,
Okay.
which, as we know, olives are very popular in Greece.
And they're, yeah.
That's where they make the oil.
Continue.
In addition to, they were involved in so as part of their religious responsibilities, they would weave a new robe for the goddess Athena.
Okay.
So something that they did kind of continuously throughout the years, they would get together with the other women and weave a new robe for her.
Yeah.
To celebrate her.
And they watched her put it on even, huh?
They probably just watched themselves put it on a statue of Athena.
Wow, so neat.
It's interesting
How
stuff.
rewarding.
How different cultures live, isn't it amazing? I personally prefer to wear clothes myself. And
I
not
get that.
Put them on statues.
If you're going to do the work to make them, it'd be nice to be able to use it.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I think I made my own scarf once,
I know.
and I wore the hell out of it.
I saw.
You didn't know it was a scarf.
Those are your
by the time I
scarf
was
years,
done with
man. Real
it.
uncomfortable.
Your scarf years. Like it was just my signature piece.
Yeah.
Bro, it's July.
2008 through 2015.
Yeah, but look at the scarf.
Years and
I'm on
years.
fleek.
Heading
So-
out to a PE class and one dude's wearing a scarf.
Oh, it's that student who wears the scarf.
Who's that guy chucking a javelin wearing a scarf? Oh, that's Mitch.
Oh, don't ask. Don't encourage him.
Don't look at him.
Don't give him the attention. So all of this stuff that they would do was in preparation for a ceremony that they would hold every year.
Okay. Halloween.
And the ceremony
St. Patty's Day.
was not Halloween, and definitely not St. Patrick's Day. Remember, we're in Greece,
Oh, Groundhog Day.
not Ireland.
No?
I think that's an American one.
Oh, then maybe you just agree to disagree and you tell me what the holiday is.
Fair enough. We'll move on. So the holiday or the event was called here we go. They're like more or less rooted in the same word, obviously, but it's like just changed just a little bit.
This makes me feel better, by the way, because we did an episode on sumo wrestlers, which we may never release, but I stumbled over every single word.
There's a lot of
Painful.
Japanese is tough. Kudos to the Japanese. So the ceremony is called Arrephoria.
Okay.
So the Arrephoria was a feast among the Athenians and instituted in honor of the goddess Athena.
Nice.
So during this feast that was held every year, the girls placed on their heads what was given to them by the priestess of Athena. Neither the priestess nor the girls know what she is giving to them.
Okay.
And in the city, there's a sacred precinct not far from that of the Aphrodite in the garden, which is like where her statue is.
Mm-hmm.
Underneath it, there's a natural underground passageway where
Okay.
this cavern is. So these girls, so it's important here to note that these girls, the reason these girls are so young is because part of this ceremony includes the fact that they have to be virgins.
Okay.
So that's why they're generally so young,
Sure.
or were so young. They don't do this anymore. Once they would go through this tunnel and down into this cavern, they would leave behind what they brought, and then they would take something that was down there and carry it back out. At the same time, they would not, the item that they brought back out would remain veiled or closed if it was in a box or something.
Okay.
It sounds like typically it was just draped with some sort of veil. So once these women brought the item back out, they were then discharged from their responsibilities as Arrephoros.
Oh, so they were done.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole time they're doing this for a year or whatever, and it culminates with this ceremony, and then they're out.
Exactly.
So what are they doing the whole other time that they're doing this?
Taking care of the Olive Garden.
So the servers at an Olive Garden in Greece?
I think that's blasphemy.
What the?
Yeah,
Wikipedia has taken a turn for the
taking
worse.
care of the sacred olive trees and weaving a giant robe for Athena.
Wow.
And I'm sure there's a lot of upkeep, at the Acropolis.
Probably.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Yeah. So we're going to dive a little bit more into the history of why this ceremony takes place, because it's actually rooted in some mythology.
Great.
Which is the interesting part.
I would love to hear more about it as soon as we take a quick break.
Oh, finally. We're back.
We are.
Where'd we leave off?
What a fulfilling break. I took a nap.
You took a nap?
Yep, and we ate a whole watermelon together, Lady and the Tramp style.
What? Ate through the center of a watermelon?
My face and beard are pink with watermelon.
Oh, man.
Yep.
I am sticky.
You were before.
And I remain so.
Yeah. I think you were telling me that we were going to talk more about the mythology rooted in an Arrephoros, if we're saying it like Google translated.
That's exactly right.
Great.
So, we're going back to the first king of Athens.
Ooh.
He's involved.
Okay. What's his name?
Jeb? It doesn't actually say what his name was.
Jeff.
But I doubt it was Jeff. I don't think
it's a J
I
name.
don't think Jeff is Greek.
You don't know.
Arrephoros? That's Greek Jeff.
Greek Jeff. That's what his name was.
I worked with a guy. We'd call him Greek Jeff.
He was the first king of Athens.
He was the only Jeff we knew, though, so I don't know why.
Greek Jeff.
We called him Greek Jeff.
There's no other Greeks or people named Jeff that worked there.
He wasn't even Greek. But it doesn't specifically mention his name. But it does mention that he had 3 daughters.
Okay.
So the mysterious objects and like the mysterious like passageway that the Arrephoros go back to the 3 daughters and kind of what they represent. So the mystery revolves around innocence, obedience, and fecundity. I'm going to spell that out because I don't even know if I said it right.
Okay.
FEC.
Hold on. Let me type it into Google Translate, and then we
Google.
can have them tell us.
Well, I'll bet it's English. I don't think it needs to translate.
Well, let's try it.
But we're gonna find a definition. FECUNDITY.
Fecundity.
Ooh, different
There you
voice.
go. Okay.
The ability to produce an abundance of offspring or new growth, fertility.
Okay.
Multiply mated females show increased fecundity.
Okay. So rooted in fertility. I'm just throwing a few extra R's in there. So The 3 daughters of this king were given a closed basket by Athena herself, and she forbade them from opening it.
Okay.
So one night, and I should say the 3 daughters, this is going to get rough because we're going to talk about their names here. The first daughter's name was Aglaros.
How is it spelled?
Aglauros.
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 There you go.
There you go. The second daughter's name was Hers.
Hearse?
Herse.
Hers.
Hers. Okay. We've got Aglaros, Hers, and Pandrosos. Which I feel better about that one. Pandrosos.
Pandrosos.
Pandrosos. There you go.
You're leaning way too heavy into a Spanish accent.
It's Latin based.
Your mom.
Dissed by a Greek cyber computer.
A cyber computer. That's what he calls a laptop.
I brought my mobile cyber computer. Your laptop, whatever you want to call it.
That makes you feel better.
That's what you call it in your home. I'm not one to judge. Okay, so we've got Aglaros, Hers,
Yes.
and Pandrosos.
Great.
So they were all given a closed basket by Athena,
Okay.
and she told them, "You can't."
Are you
open
saying
these."
clothes basket?
Closed.
Closed,
It
okay.
was closed and sealed.
Sure.
And told they could not look inside it to see what it was.
Okay. What a rip.
I know, right? It's kind of like,
Wow, thanks for nothing, lady.
oh, it's like you give something to a kid, you're like, don't open this. Like,
Ever.
They're going to open it.
Yeah.
I'm 30 years old. I'm going to open it.
Keep this in your room forever. Don't look at it every day, but don't open it.
Yeah, I need you to put this in the basement, but don't look inside of it.
Yeah, that's
All
a
right,
body in
thanks.
those baskets, dude.
Yeah, you don't think you've got the curiosity
Yeah,
to
you-
look inside?
Call the police.
Yeah, your Aunt Athena killed someone.
Yep.
So one night, Aglaros and Hers
Yes.
gave into their own curiosity.
Why wouldn't you?
They looked in the basket.
I would have too. Did they
Mhm.
die?
No, they didn't die. Worse.
They met the same fate as Mary the Elephant.
Wow, different episode. Tune in for Mary the Elephant episode.
You're going to want to hear all
You're
about
gonna
that.
want to know. Don't look it up.
Don't.
No, worse. They opened the basket and they saw Arrephoros,
What?
the mysterious child of Hephaestus.
Hephaestus?
Hephaestus.
What?
You know about Hephaestus?
Well, I know how to say the word, but more importantly, I'm worried that they were given closed baskets by Athena, which contained a small child in them.
That's right.
They were told not to open them or look at them.
That's correct.
This is like real Jeffrey Dahmer vibes.
I'm under the impression they were just transporting, and maybe he was asleep. They didn't want to wake him up.
What?
Yeah. Poor kid was just trying to get some sleep.
Okay.
So anyway, because they opened the box, Athena punished the girls for breaking her trust.
Wait, hold on. This child
let's
was
go
in
back,
both
let's go
boxes?
They were just given a closed box.
Oh.
A singular box, big enough for the child of Hephaestus.
3 sisters guarding 1 box, and 2 of them peek.
That's right.
I
That's
see.
right. So Athena punished the girls for breaking her trust
Mm-hmm.
and made snakes appear out of the basket.
Perfect. With the child in there still? Seems irresponsible.
I assume maybe the child turned into the snakes. I think this is a metaphor.
Nah. I'm thinking this literally happened. You think that the first king of Athens just made this up about how Athena gave his daughters a closed basket full of a snake baby just to tell other people and encourage his mystique and mysterious nature with his relationship with the gods? No, dude.
It sounds legit.
Yeah, it does sound legit.
But these 2 girls, poor Aglaris and Hers, were so scared
Of course they were.
and full of terror
Mm-hmm.
that they jumped off the Acropolis to their deaths.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a basket full of snakes.
So 2 sisters down, 1 to go. The
That's
one
right.
that didn't look.
When they didn't look. Now the sanctuary of this is a real place. The sanctuary of Aglaros lies at the foot of the cliff.
Okay. You looked that up?
Yeah, look it up. And it may have been the precinct to which the Arrephoros descended. So that's where the Arrephoros would descend.
Wow, very cool.
Very cool, right? So Pandrosos, the sister that did not look into the basket, has a shrine next to the sacred olive tree on the Acropolis itself.
Okay.
So she was rewarded with glory forever.
Nice.
She's got her own shrine.
That's a score.
I haven't had my own shrine since that guy got arrested.
Wait, what?
Now, the reason that they built the shrine, obviously, was to celebrate Pandrosos.
Right.
And the reason they hold this ceremony is to have the two girls fulfill the duty of the two girls, of the two sisters that failed Athena.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, hey, these sisters failed. From here on out, we're going to have these two young virgins carry out their responsibility and regain Athena's trust.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. So in connection to the myth of the Arrephoros and the priestess, I guess the connection between Athena and the sisters,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Arrephoros and then the priestess that gives them these gifts, neither of them know what the item is that they're carrying down into
Sure.
the cavern.
Okay.
So just to kind of maintain that tradition so that no one knows, so that trust can be built back with Athena.
Okay, I see.
So a lot of stuff there.
And so that's where it stemmed from. So essentially what they're doing out from then on with these young girls is just like essentially a Civil War reenactment for this one thing that happened in order to pay tribute to the trust of Athena.
That's true. But this was happening in like the 5th century BC.
Yeah.
So a long time ago.
Wow.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Very long time
I forgot
ago.
to mention that. They would carry out this reenactment before Christ was even born.
And that was like, I mean, you looked at someone funny and you thought they had a demon in you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just murder your neighbor for no reason.
You sneezed twice in a row.
You done.
You're done.
Wow.
Vanished from town. So they were actually striving to regain the trust that they'd lost with Athena from the three sisters, 3 daughters of the king.
Crazy that one mistake by 3 sisters could cause so much,
Could cause
so many
generations-
reenactments for
could
so many
cause
years to come.
Generations of a really boring ceremony.
Wow.
I mean,
That's
half
it,
the
huh?
ceremony is taking place underground with just the 2 girls. You don't think those 2 girls looked under the veil to see
100%
what
they
was?
did. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. And they probably felt super guilty about it for their whole lives.
I mean, maybe there was some that didn't.
Maybe.
Because this lady's saying, hey, take this box underground to that cave I showed you, but don't look in it because snakes will pop out.
You'll die.
And then you may not jump, but we will throw you off the Acropolis.
Yeah, they probably would.
So they were just dastardly enough to do it back then.
Dude, that's like the same age of when the Spartan king sacrifices his own son because the oracle, or I can't remember what they're called. The three like witches that can see the future. Dang it, what are they called?
Oracle sounds right.
Oracle sounds right, but they told him that he would need to do that in
Seers?
order to seers. Maybe there's like a name for him. We'll find out. But yeah, like throw off your own child, like sacrifice your own kid just for that. You're like, it's nonsensical.
Yeah, pretty wild.
Yeah. And now
Religion will do crazy things to you.
And then we get people who are, just stop oil, doing things that are equally effective to help make change today. So,
It's very true.
man, it's cool to see things go full circle.
It's a beautiful thing.
What do you got to say about that?
Nothing.
Great.
I guess I gotta say thanks for tuning in to learn more about the Arrephoros.
All right.
It's no longer a needed profession
Thank
or
the
needed
Lord.
service. Thank Athena.
All right.
They
Well,
gained their trust back with her.
thanks, buddy. I guess catch you next time.
Yeah, catch us next time. Tune in next week for a new episode in our series of Obsolete Jobs. You can find us wherever podcasts are sold. And
Ours
tune
is
in.
free,
Tell your friend. Please,
so there's no reason for you not to try it out.
please subscribe. Share it with your friends. Who doesn't want to know more about this?
Yep.
I bet your mom does.
We're going to crawl our way through every single Wikipedia article before this podcast dies. So You're going to be there right there with us. I don't know what I just said, but we should probably end.
All right, let's cut it off. Thanks, everyone.